Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start. I want to begin by welcoming everyone here. Thank you for being here this evening. We're so pleased to be having this celebration tonight for Women's History Month, and we are going to celebrate some very special students this evening. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce our superintendent, Barbara Dean Williams, who has a few words to say. Thank you.
Thank you and good evening. It's great to see everybody here. This is an exciting event, certainly one of my favorites, because we get to recognize powerful women and our future here in Rochester. Sitting here tonight, we're going to have a chance to meet all of them. But first, I want to take a few moments to ask you to join me in remembering a very special Rochester pioneer and a friend to many of us, Louise Slaughter. If we could just take a moment of silence in her memory. Thank you. Rochester's long been on the forefront of producing strong women leaders. And Louise's recent passing was a devastating loss to all of us in this community. And she was such a friend to education, a true inspiration and role model to me personally, and someone that I was able to work closely with through multiple districts for many years in Rochester. She was really an unwavering advocate for education, for children, for the music, arts, STEAM, but she was an unwavering advocate for women and women's rights. She was a role model and mentor, and above all, she was a friend to those of us that serve children. The outpouring of both national and local support speaks to her character, the woman that she was, and most importantly, the impact that she had on people all over this country. Fran Weisberg, Congresswoman Slaughter's former campaign manager, many of us know Fran from the United Way. She herself is a formidable female leader. Captured Louise perfectly in saying that she was unbelievably brilliant and spent her life fighting for this community. She also said, and I loved this, Louise never backed down from a challenge or passed up a good idea. She was a great listener. She was absolutely charming. You could sit down and talk to Louise about anything, and she would lean in and take an interest in anything anyone had to say. I always loved it when she visited my schools with me and took time to go into a band room and marvel at how well the students played instruments. She knew every piece of music they were playing by name. She had an incredible gift for enjoying the arts and an incredible ability to talk to anyone as if she had known them her whole life. Fran said that she used her charm, her brilliant mind, and her relentless energy to get the job done. She never lost her passion. She never lost her ability to care about her neighbors and to remember that a focus on your local hometown always gives you passion and inspiration to do great things for others. So I'd like you to remember Louise tonight and her voice for women, for victims of domestic violence, for her love of Rochester, our children, our community. And I hope that her legacy and her passion will be remembered by all of our young women and young men, but especially our young women who are going to be formidable leaders themselves. You're a shining example of the talent that we have within the Rochester City Schools. I am so, so proud of each of you and so appreciative of this community and our staff and our Board of Education and our parents for sharing you tonight. I want to thank all of you for your participation in women's history. We want to encourage everyone to follow in Congresswoman Slaughter's great example of servant leadership. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent. I'd next like to introduce our keynote speaker, Linda Lopata, who is the Director of Interpretation and Guest Services at the Susan B. Anthony House. Welcome, Linda.
Thank you. They went through 2 other people, so you're stuck with a 3rd string tonight. I'll do my best. As a proud parent of 2 graduates of the Rochester City School District, I am deeply honored to celebrate the accomplishments of these young women. But let me ask you this. Are you surprised to learn that Susan B. Anthony was not always an A student? Nope. While at boarding school, she was desperately homesick and constantly criticized by the headmistress. Young Susan B. Anthony never forgot being admonished for forgetting to dot her I's, while the heart of what she was writing was ignored. She did not, however, let the haters get her down. There was too much work to be done. She became a brilliant speechmaker, frank, direct, funny, and effective. Criticism hurts, but it also builds character. It's a good thing, because Susan B. Anthony was called, among other things, an abomination, a hurdy-gurdy, whatever that is, a shrewish old maid, just for speaking her mind. She never took the bait, nor did she back down. The causes she cared about were too important: liberty, equality, justice, and humanity for all. As an anti-slavery activist, she was run out of town by violent mobs in Syracuse and Buffalo, but she kept working. As a suffragist, she traveled thousands of miles by train, carriage, and horseback, staying in barns, bed-bug-ridden rooms, and inns where people were openly hostile toward her. But she kept working. She was criticized by friends and foes, but she kept working. The work was too important to quit. Susan B. Anthony rallied her entire life to stamp out sexism and racism. But as she aged, she discovered how these isms evolve. The 15th Amendment, sorry to take you back to school, but you're going to learn a little. The 15th Amendment passed in 1870, allowing black men to vote. The 19th Amendment passed in 1920, giving women the vote. But neither black men nor women in the South had this right protected until the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Changing laws is a start. Living up to them is a constant battle. As Frederick Douglass said, ignore your rights and they go away. It is up to your generation to continue the work of Susan B. Anthony and Frederick Douglass. The problems have shifted, and so has sexism and racism. We know that on paper all U.S. citizens can vote, but in reality there are more roadblocks for people of color. We know that school district lines are drawn to keep certain people in and certain people out. We know that good jobs, housing, and transportation are limited by where you live. And we know that white men still make the rules because those who have power rarely give it up. But we also know that ordinary people, people who do not come from wealth nor famous families, can make a difference, just like Susan B. Anthony did, and just like you. In the midst of the Civil War, Susan B. Anthony challenged those who wished to strike a deal with the South. She said, "We ask for no return to the old condition. We ask for something better. We want a union in fact, a union in spirit, not a sham. Women of the North, I ask you to rise up in earnest. Forget conventionalisms. Forget what the world will say, whether you are in your place or out of it. Think your best thoughts, speak your best words, do your best works, looking to your own conscience for approval. That's what I want you to do. Forget those conventionalisms. Speak your best words. Think your best thoughts. Look to your own conscience for approval. If you do that and follow the lead of Susan B. Anthony, I have great hopes for your contributions to the world.
Thank you, Linda. So now it's my honor to be able to start off the proceedings of the awards. And what I'm going to say first is each of our awardees, each of our young women are going to receive something very special. There's a beautiful plaque with your name on it and a book called Great Speeches by American Women. And so this is very important. I expect each one of you to be great speech makers, and so this will give you lots of great ideas. And we have this beautiful purse from the Susan B. Anthony House, and it has your name on it. So we're excited to be passing these things out to each of you. So what I'll do next is call out one representative from each of the schools that you come from, and I believe our first person to call up is Mary Andrikolich Diaz from RIA to introduce our very special first awardee.
Good evening, everyone. I am very proud to introduce my amazing student, Khadija Abdi. The Rochester International Academy is a program for students that are new to the United States. And I always sit down with my students and say, well, tell me your story. And they just, as a matter of fact, they say, well, when I was 9 years old, I lived in Somalia. There was war. My father died. I had to travel by boat to go to Yemen, to go to a refugee camp. Just as a matter of fact. I am almost in tears every time. I'm like, oh my goodness, how long were you on the boat? A very long time. But then Khadija told me, my mother stayed back with my little brother. Me and my other brother went on the boat with my uncle. My uncle went to get food, and the boat left him. So she traveled at 9 years old, her and her brother, for many days to a refugee camp in Yemen, where they stayed until they were able to come to the United States just a little over 3 years ago. When Khadija came into the United States, she did not have appropriate ID. So they told her that she was 17, which makes her standing in front of you 20 right now, but not really, which means she doesn't have much more time in school. But don't feel bad, because Khadija stands in front of you, an 11th grader with a 3.9 GPA, passed all her regents, and she will graduate in June. And she's done it because of her perseverance, just like Susan B. Anthony. She refuses to give up. And not only is she an amazing student academically, but she is one of our student ambassadors. She's part of the student government. She's part of the recycling team. She's in chorus, and she is our go-to person to help with interpretation in both Somali and Arabic. And now she speaks English very well, too. I can't tell you how proud we are. And Mom, thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate you. Khadija absolutely epitomizes all of the values and beliefs of Susan B. Anthony. I present to you my amazing student, Khadija Abdi.
Thank you, Ms. Diaz. So first of all, I would like to thank the Rochester City School District Board of Education and the Susanna P. Anthony Committee for presenting me with this award. I would also like to thank all the teachers at RIA who have helped me grow academically and helped me develop my English. Lastly, I would like to thank my mother who has helped me become the woman I am today. Without her love and help, I would not be standing in front of you. I feel honored to have been presented with this award. Susanna B. Anthony was an advocate for women's rights and a voice for women to pursue education, something that I'm passionate about. I plan to uphold those values and carry on her message as I further my education to pursue a career in nursing. Thank you so much again for presenting me with this award. I'm truly honored.
Wonderful. Now I'm going to call up Stephen McDonald from Rochester Early College High School to present his student.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here to present Carol Akinbowale from the Rochester Early College International High School. Carol Akinbowale is a most accomplished scholar who represents the essence of what it means to be a Rochester Early College scholar and Susan B. Anthony Award recipient. She was the assistant coach for a middle school cheerleading team in 2015. She provided advice to middle school students that were incoming freshmen on what to expect and the ingredients of successful high school experiences. She participated in the design and gathering of significant content for our yearbook. She organized fundraising events for children between the ages of 4 and 8 years of age for obtaining gear for the school's cheerleading team. She has done community service at the Maplewood Community Library, where she has helped kids improve their reading and writing skills. She also published an article in an international journal entitled Impact of Early Education Upon Children's Development and Health in the International Journal of Case Studies and Clinical Research in February 2018. She has been on high honor roll all throughout high school and was nominated to the 2018 National Honor Society. She is an Urban League Black Scholar and was recently accepted to the University of Rochester for fall 2018. Carol Akinbowale has made us extremely proud as a school community. Congratulations on your prestigious award. You are most deserving.
I'd like to thank my mom, who's been a great support for me throughout all my years. She's helped me to become the woman that I am today. I love you, Mom, and thank you so much.
Okay, I'd like to invite Ann Rosdahl from East High School up to the podium.
Tonight, it is my pleasure to introduce Jordan Comer. Jordan is a truly remarkable student. After a difficult first year of high school, Jordan transferred to East Big Picture, a brand new, small alternative program that focused on re-engaging students in their education through internships. At Big Picture, Jordan thrived, receiving honor roll or higher every marking period, as well as numerous perfect attendance awards. Since I have known her, it has been clear that Jordan is a leader. She was the first student to secure an internship in the 2016-17 school year with a music teacher at a local elementary school. Jordan was adored by the children and received much praise from her internship supervisor. As part of her internship project, Jordan even created a lesson plan for a kindergarten class using the school district lesson plan template. Even amongst her peer group, she leads, consistently reminding friends to apply for colleges, fill out their FAFSA, get their grades up, or to try extracurricular activities. The Big Picture program dissolved after the 2016-2017 school year, and Jordan returned to East High School, adjusting well. She joined the school choir and earned a solo during the holiday performance, made the honor roll during the first and second marking periods, and continued her good attendance and leadership skills. Transitioning well from a program with less than 60 students to East speaks to Jordan's resiliency and ability to adjust to difficult changes. Recently, Jordan became a member of the first cohort of East students to take part in a new partnership, the U of R Nursing Career Exploratory Program. This program offers an in-depth exploratory in nursing in which the students get CPR certified, learn about various aspects of the nursing career, and will spend 2 days over spring break in the operating room at Strong Hospital. While many other seniors are fighting off symptoms of senioritis, Jordan continues to take advantage of new opportunities and thrive. It has been my pleasure getting to know Jordan over the past couple of years, and it is my honor tonight to present her with the Susan B. Anthony Award.
All right, I'd like to invite Nairi Wims Hall from Vanguard Collegiate High School up with her student.
Good evening. I'm Mrs. Hall, one of the assistant principals at Vanguard High School. And this evening, I want to introduce you to a young lady who is going to leave an indelible mark on this world. When we were invited to identify a student whose characteristics embodied those of Susan B. Anthony, I thought immediately of Tyesha Edwards. Here's why. There was a situation in the cafeteria which was brewing unbeknownst to me, which is very unusual, because like Okoye in the Black Panther, I know everything. Our seniors and the cafeteria staff were at a standstill about who was responsible for the garbage being left in the senior section of the cafeteria. Now I'm going to switch just a little bit because Tyesha and I spoke earlier today about how this award is even more relevant for her, so bear with me. So Tyesha, like Hatshepsut, the Perat of Egypt, demonstrated remarkable leadership and organized her peers to a protest. Like Ida B. Wells, the author who exposed lynching through her writing in the United States, she used a pen to write about her concerns. Like Rosa Parks, she encouraged her classmates to be unshakable in their course. I explained to Tyesha that her cause, while justified, her strategy, however, was inappropriate. They were trying to leave the cafeteria with garbage on all the tables. After we spoke, I gave her an assignment and asked her to look at how children have protested in the United States, like Susan B. Anthony, for a just cause. Like Layla Ali, she continued to fight. Like Michelle Obama, she became thoughtful and demonstrated grace as she represented her cause. I am so honored to know Tyesha, and I cannot wait to see what the rest of her life is going to be like. I present this award for Susan B. Anthony to Tyesha Edwards. Congratulations.
Hi, God. Hi, I just want to thank God, my mom, and like my peers around me who support me to be the person I am, and I will continue to advocate for others and Black women and women all around as well.
Thank you. All right, is Robert Curran, school counselor from Edison High here? Okay, maybe we come back to that. Jane Iwon Sobe, principal of Monroe High School. Come on up.
Greetings, everyone. I'm one of the school counselors at James Monroe High School, and I have the honor to be able to stand here and talk a little bit about our student. Aliyah had been at James Monroe High School from 7th grade. So you can just imagine, it's been a journey. As she grew up, she matured along the way and made herself a toolbox. We think that only carpenters and construction workers have toolboxes. Our children have toolboxes too, invisible though. She had a toolbox where when something happens to her, she goes into that toolbox. It doesn't matter how upset she is, she will throw it out and then come back to herself, go into that toolbox and help Aliyah. Because as she walked her journey, she realized that the only person that she is so responsible for and has to take care of, and she knows where she is heading to, is Aliyah. Aliyah is a helper. Aliyah is one who will listen to her friends. Aliyah is, I can't tell you, every day I have a hug from this child because that's who she is. She is one who is a very friendly human being. Aliyah is very, very motivated to be who she wants to be. Aliyah is not just that, she is one of our honor students. And when her name came up, it was just like joy for everyone who heard the name, because she's come a long way, and we are very proud of Aliyah Marble.
I just want to give a thanks to Ms. Iwon Sobe for working with me for the 3 years that I've been at Monroe, Ms. Machuca, my grandma, my aunt. If it wasn't for these people helping me throughout the hard times of my life, I wouldn't see myself graduating this year. Thank you.
I'm going to call up Joanne Aspenleiter from SOTA to present SOTA young lady.
Good evening, everyone. This is Grace Myers. Grace Myers is currently a gifted dance major at School of the Arts. And I truly wish that you would have been able to see Grace dance just a few short weeks ago. She does so amazingly. She's truly a gifted dancer. This year, in June, she will receive an Advanced Regents Diploma with Honors and Mastery in Mathematics and Science upon graduation. Recently, Grace led School of the Arts #Enough National School Walkout Day on March 14th, 2018. Grace, along with a couple other students and staff, organized SOTA to take a stand against school violence, and she continues to enact change in gun control policies. Grace had the opportunity to work with several of us on this event, and I have to tell you, she stayed very true to herself and her agenda for what she wanted kids to experience during this event. Grace plans to attend Washington University in St. Louis in the fall. This past weekend, Grace was invited to the campus to interview for a prestigious scholarship, the Irving Scholar Program, that is open only to the top 10% of high school students. At this time, I'd like to openly congratulate Grace as she has been chosen as a recipient of this award, and as such, she will receive a significant financial, tuition-free college education. Absolutely. School of the Arts is very proud of Grace, and we will certainly feel the void when she leaves us.
Hi. They didn't tell us we had to prepare anything to say, so I'd just like to thank my parents and all of my teachers and administrators in the arts and academics at School of the Arts who have helped shape me. And I'd also like to thank all of the women who are receiving awards beside me today. You're all amazing, and the School of the Arts community for being such an open and welcoming place and filled with students who are passionate and active on issues that face this country and our communities. Thank you.
I'd like to call up Denise Quamina to introduce Wilson Commencement Academy's scholar. Did anybody see Denise? Denise? Okay. All right. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. This is my lovely Tyesha. So if I was to use a few words just to start off, I'll use driven, directed, and on her way. This is a few words I will use to describe Miss LaVesia Perez. LaVesia, when I first met LaVesia, I do breakfast duty, and LaVesia stood out to me in the cafeteria. You know, the cafeteria is one of those hopping places. And she and this young lady would sit in amidst all the madness, and they will just sit there and just be. And that's always amazing to me for students to just sit and just be in the cafeteria, quiet, doing their thing, And the year passed, and I noticed she separated herself from this young lady, and I asked why, and she said, and then I quickly found out why she did that. We wouldn't get into that bit. But nonetheless, this young lady is a young lady who, again, driven, directed, and on her way. She knows what she wants, and she goes right at it. LaVesia was one of the young ladies who I selected to be part of the group of students who helped me originally to be part of the students who helped with the students who put on the race summit. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the students summit on a race that the Rochester City School District were part of, where over 600 students from across the county were invited to at the Wegman Center with LaVesia, and some of the young men in the back were also part of that. LaVesia was part of that as well, as part of the original group. This young lady was part of that. She's also part of the Mosaic Club. This is a group of students who, again, part of the county that get together with the Jiva Theater that look at controversial plays and discuss the controversy behind the plays. LaVesia is part of this group. LaVesia is a student who, amidst the madness that goes on across the day-to-day stuff in the building, you can see her going about her business. She maintains above a 3.5 GPA. She stands alone, even if it means, she gets the flag. And mind you, she doesn't. The students understand who she is, and they just really wouldn't mess with her. She's on the STEP team. She works. and still maintains a 3.5 above GPA. That's Lavesia Perez. And, you know, she comes with a broad scope of knowledge. You know, she stands for what she stands for. Again, she is true to herself and her classmates. And they understand who she is. Do I capture you pretty much in a nutshell? Yeah. This is Lavesia Perez. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you. See, that's her. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say something really fast. I want to thank my mom, and I also want to thank Miss Kwamina for believing in me, because I didn't even expect to get this work. I didn't even know it existed. And then when I saw I got it in the mail, I like sent the picture to my mom like so quick. And then I went to school, and I looked at Miss Kwamina, I'm like, did you do this? Because like nobody else knows me like Miss Kwamina, and I really appreciate her for everything she does for me and believing in me, and for introducing me to so many different opportunities I wouldn't have had. So I want to thank you for that.
And it's so great to see those special relationships between our students and staff, too. All right, I'd like to invite Deborah Rowe-Jarrett and Ed Wilson to come and introduce the scholar from School Without Walls.
Good evening, everybody. How you doing? Well, I guess our journey started when Tyesha was in the 7th grade, but if I go back even further, I was her father's teacher. And also, as a little quote from Rosa Parks, I'd just like to read this. It says, "Memories of our lives, of our works and our deeds will continue in others." And I see that, that tradition going on through the process of her growth, but more importantly, the contacts that we have made. I've also noticed there are times when she came to my class, there were a lot of concerns that she had personally, but she never deviated from what she was supposed to do that day, but more importantly, caring for others. She's a very caring, compassionate young lady, but she's also humble. She never really talks about herself. She's always talking about deeds she would have to do for others, especially her little brothers. She's been a person that sometimes has had adversity in her life, but she's overcome it based on her attendance. She has perfect attendance. Also, she's never failed a grade up until the 12th grade. And more importantly, she's also helped others basically in a very quiet way. She's a quiet leader. She's unassuming, but yet she still leads. And I've always told her, you don't have to always be the person in front to lead. You can lead from the middle. You can also lead from the back. And a good leader also allows others to have a voice. And she's let our students have a voice, but more importantly, she's opened the door for many other students who have the same skills and capabilities that she has. So I'd like to also have Deb say something about it.
Because it takes more than one person to present Tyesha.
Am I that bad, Dad?
You're that big. You're that beautiful. So Tyesha's name spells the story of who she is. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about Tyesha with her name. D for dedicated to her pursuit to be successful. A, altruistic in always putting the needs of others before her own. Y, she is a youthquake. The word is defined as meaning a significant cultural, political, and social change arising from the actions or influence of young people. Be on the lookout for a change arising from the actions and influence of Tyesha. Joy, she is a true joy and a blessing to have as one of our School Without Walls students. A, aspiring to be the best that she can be, and H, hardworking and honest, both admirable and refreshing. Sampson spells her last name S, a sense of humor that is witty and also playful. A, an academic excellence is her forte. M, mature beyond her years. P, she is poised and always pretty. And S, a smile that lights up the room. O, she is open-minded because she can and chooses to be. N, notable. Take notice of this remarkable young lady and expect great things from her.
Hi. So first, right, I want to thank my parents for being my foundation, and my brothers for being my motivation, my godmom back there for being my reminder to do good in school. I want to thank my teachers, Ed, Deb, and I want to thank Coretta for putting up with me every day because I know it's hard. And I want to thank everybody here today, and congratulations to everyone else.
I'd like to invite Elizabeth Dunn to introduce Integrated Arts and Technology High School's scholar.
So when Stephanie transferred to IAT last year, she was quiet. She was cheerful, she was friendly, but she was the kind of kid that wanted to hide in the classroom and not attract too much notice. But it has been my privilege to have Stephanie for a second year. And since the first day of school, she has been a model of leadership for her peers in everything that she has done. She's present nearly every day with a smile, a vibrant sense of humor, and a vivid imagination. She puts these to good use in our school community by building connections between students, helping her peers work through their anger and frustrations, and by always seeking to serve and help others. In all things, she's guided by an impeccable conscience and a strong sense of self that deftly perceives injustice and seeks to right it. Where she used to hide from her academic weaknesses, Stephanie now embraces these academic challenges and works to overcome them. And in January, she overcame her greatest nemesis by passing the ELA Regents exam. She's constantly trying to improve both herself and her school community. And this is most evident in her senior capstone project, which is focusing on how to create a school brand that encourages students to be involved in their education and their school community. When she walks the stage this June, Stephanie will be leaving behind a legacy of positivity, and she will have left our school a better place than it was when she first came through those doors. And I'm sure that she will do the same for every person and place that she encounters through the rest of her life.
Is this thing on? Okay. I would like to thank my mom that kept helping me to move forward, and I would like to thank my teacher, Ms. Dunn. She has always been there for me, and well, I just like to thank them for always pushing me forward. That's it.
I'd like to invite Kim Garlock from School 58 to come and introduce your scholar.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to sort of break this up into three parts. I'm going to start with just some words about Tyesha that her counselor wrote. Tyesha is a student who is very serious about her education and is involved in many aspects of our school community, or crew as we call it. Tyesha takes a rigorous course load with AP classes and dual college credit classes. Tyesha is on the honor roll and an Urban League Black Scholar. She's very active in the school community. She has participated in varsity cross country, swimming, both indoor and outdoor track, and this year, Tyesha participated in varsity soccer as well. She's a leader, as I said, in and outside of the school community. She has a part-time job at Strong Museum and works for Action for a Better Community as a peer mentor. Tyesha feels passionately about her work empowering young women through the Project U, helping girls to discover their own uniqueness. As a part of this program and her senior capstone project, Tyesha organized an event with the help of her sister Tatiana to help educate kids about sexual violence And we had a day of kids walking around practicing all sorts of moves to get out of a situation if they were ever caught in one as young women. And they also gave out whistles, which to use if you're being sexually assaulted, but the day was filled with whistles. Everybody had whistles. Thanks to Shayla. Her future plans lead her to the Navy, where she plans to be a hospital corpsman and aspires to be an intelligence specialist. My next thing I want to say is what I asked Tyesha to do, because when we heard about the Susan B. Anthony Award for this year, the principal, myself, and the counselor immediately thought of Tyesha because she's definitely Susan B. Anthony. And I wanted to make sure Tyesha understood why we picked her. So I asked her to do some homework and to do some research on Susan B. Anthony. And I asked her to write down some things, traits that were similar. So this is what Tyesha wrote. Traits we have alike: determination, never take no for an answer. She never takes no for an answer. Hardworking, work with energy, dedication, and diligence. She's brave, never afraid to stand up and voice what's right and not let consequences stop you. Again, that's her. They both lived in Massachusetts, and they both are good leaders. And Tyesha defines a leader as someone who is reliable, vision-driven, and dedicated. And the last thing I want to say is that Tyesha is definitely a member of our crew. For those of you who don't know, World of Inquiry, our motto is we are crew, not passengers. And that means that everybody supports everyone else. No one is more important than anyone else. And that is the epitome of our school as well as Tyesha. And I just want to give a quick example. I'm out there in the morning at 7 o'clock every morning when the buses come in, greeting the kids, and Tyesha's often out there. And this week, I was keeping an eye on a student that had gotten off. He obviously had gotten on the wrong bus because he goes to Edison. And he got off the bus, and I knew he wasn't our student. And he was looking a little anxious and nervous, so I'm like, Tyesha, help me keep my eye on him because he looks a little worried. He was on the phone. So she did that for me while I was watching all the buses. And then we finally decided that I should go over and find out that, yes, the student got on the wrong bus. And that was awesome. But Tyesha also said, Ms. Garlock, there were 3 kids on that bus, and the bus driver didn't let them off. And I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? And Tyesha says, you've got to find out what's going on. And she named the names of the kids on there. I was able to follow up and find out that the bus driver was dropping them off a little further up because one of the girls had to drop her little brother off at daycare. But Tyesha is the one who saw the kids and was crew, not passenger. So I just wanted to say thank you for that as well.
I'm a little bit tall. Okay. I just want to say first, thank you to God, who is the head of my life. Thank you to my amazing mother, who encourages me to do above and beyond and just encourages me to be the best I can be no matter what. And she always tells me, just be whatever you can be and just be great at it, even if you're the best trash man in the world. So thank you, Mom, for encouraging me to follow my dreams. Thank you to my amazing support system, who is always there for me whenever I need you guys. Thank you to Ms. Garlock. At first, me and Ms. Garlock were a little rocky. I used to always say, this woman is crazy. She's always yelling. And every time I go up to her and say, Miss, she says, Miss what, Mississippi? But me and Ms. Garlock have grown very close, and she is an amazing person that I can always count on. And thank you to the Board of Education for letting me receive this award. It means a lot. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to call Alexis Mouzon from Northeast College Preparatory Academy for our last scholar. Yay!
Good evening.
My name is Nakaya Burrows, and I am one of the administrators at Northeast High School, and this is Alexis Mouzon, one of our cheerleading coaches. We are here to honor Tyesha Scott. And Tyesha happens to be the third Tyesha of the night, so Tyesha is definitely a name of greatness. Tyesha is currently a senior at Northeast. She exhibits our mission and vision and stands out as a role model at our school. She's an all-around great student, well-rounded scholar. She has a solid academic history. She's a scholar athlete. She's a member of our student government. She's a dedicated employee. She's been a captain of her cheerleading squad for 4 years. And she's a coach of the Rochester Rams. She's also a scholarship recipient of the Dance and Cheerleading Explosion. Like Susan B. Anthony, she's a fighter. She's an advocate. She's quiet and reserved, but she doesn't take any mess from anyone. You never know where her next move will be, but you do know that her next move will be the right move. She is just an all-around great student, and we admire her. She's very sweet. She's humble. We're privileged to have a scholar like Tyesha represent our student body and to showcase what excellence looks like. Thank you, Tyesha.
I just want to thank Ms. Burrows, Alexis Mouzon, and my mom for being there for me and believing in me.
Okay, yes. Thank you, yes. Okay, so we have one final really special award to give out. It's called the Community Service Award to Janae Davis, who joined funds to buy tickets for 125 students to attend the Black Panther film. And so we really appreciate that. And I'd like to recognize Ms. Davis and invite her up to the podium. Thank you so much. You want to say a word?
Oh, yeah, sure. Hi. I don't know if some of your students were able to attend. I hope so. It's basically started with me wanting to go to California to see Black Panther, but instead wanting to share that experience with as many students as I could. Instead of having the trip be just for me, I realized I could give that experience to kids, and I ended up giving it to 150 students from Rochester City School District. I also was able to get Sterling K. Brown, one of the actors from This Is Us, to donate the posters. And all the kids got posters, and I was also able to get Regal to donate snack packs. So they got a full movie experience, and that was really important for me. So I'm happy to serve the community, and I hope to continue to do that. Thank you.
I want to say thanks to all the principals, assistant principals, counselors, and teachers for inspiring and guiding all of these young women. Join me with some applause for that. Thank you.